And coming to the nocturnal emission thing, I don't know if I told you about this, but last year or 2 years ago, I made people who had a gallery here in garage asked me to do something, so I made a conference about noise.
Yeah.
I probably sent you something because you were involved.
Yeah.
You know, you sent me this thing. I have to take it if it's still here. You broke it, you don't have it. You remember this? He came from England with Caroline with this thing in his bag, you know. So he was afraid to carry it home because at the customs they might have arrested him or something. So since I had to do this conference on noise, I prepared the conference itself, which was more like a show and tell kind of thing, where I would play 2 minutes of Russolo and explain about the futurist noise machine, and then SPK, throbbing gristle, and so on. But before doing this sort of conference, I made a performance of, you know, that Leutnant Murnau thing, which, of course, you produced the CD we did, and so on. And so I had a guy dressed up as, I couldn't be him because I had to speak and be the conference man. So I had this other guy dressed as Leutnant Murnau with the mask, which is somewhere, I don't know. And he would come, we had a small, I bought a cheap Chinese blaster, you know, where I put a cassette that you left here when you left this as well. And there was a loop which I still don't know what is, a very boring loop from some music which you used at the beginning of the concert you made in Viareggio. It was something that was going on and on. So this evening started with this thing playing with just one spotlight on this, and the people were getting bored because it was like 10 minutes with this loop going on, and you only could see the blast. And then from the back arrives this very slow, with this mask which looks like Nosferatu more or less, no? And then he takes this thing out, and all of a sudden breaks completely the thing I had just bought, 20 euros of that was a sort of to introduce the concept of noise. So then I started the conference explaining that the loop was part of this, that nobody who was there, they were too young to know that 20 years before we had this concert at Hot Frog with you, and with the same thing you had destroyed something that you have found somewhere. So we made the video, the whole thing. I should make a copy for you. Maybe I can find it downstairs.